There is one skill in property that controls all of your success. So today, I wanted to deep dive into it in this video. So over the last 4 years, I have spent huge amounts of time and money getting myself in front of experts within the property industry. And no matter how high level the conversation goes about finance, different strategies, refurbs, whatever it is, when I ask successful investors how to rapidly grow their portfolio, there is always one common answer. In fact, whilst we're talking about it, I'm going to write down all of these strategies and you can tell me what you think is the main thing, the one skill that you need when trying to do all of these strategies. Well, first of all, we've got a turnkey buy-to-let. So that's a ready to go, ready to rent property with no work required. Or we could do the BRRR strategy, buy, refurbish, refinance, rent. We could do the HMO strategy. We could do serviced accommodation. We could do, what else could we do? Sourcing. We can do developments. My list could go on, but hopefully it's becoming clear now that there is one piece of the puzzle, or should I say, one main bottleneck that we all face in property. It's an incredibly simple answer, but I'm going to hopefully change your mindset and your perception on this. Have you got it yet? No? Well, let me give you a bit more information. So to give you some more information, I have badly drawn a funnel on the whiteboard. Now, you might have seen me talk about funnels in the past, and that is because I believe this is the route that we should take if we're trying to grow a portfolio. We should try and simplify things, break it down into simple steps, and figure out how we can tackle each part of the funnel. From down at the end of the funnel here, we could potentially, refinance and rent the property if we're doing the BRR strategy. So at this point, just before completing the project, of course, we need to manage our refurbs. If we're starting to buy multiple properties at once, we need to go, right, who is our team? Who is managing all of these refurbs? Obviously, at this point, we have finance because, well, if we want to buy lots of properties at once, if we want to put them into refurbs, if we want to refinance and rent them, we're going to have a certain amount of finance. How do we get the finance? And then we've got this point here. Now, for any of you that have watched my previous videos, you must have got the answer by now. Surely you've got it, right? The answer is deal sourcing. Now, I don't mean the act of finding a property and selling it to another investor. That is known as deal sourcing, but for this video, I'll refer to that as deal packaging for the rest of this video, just to keep things simple, as that is finding a property, packaging it up for another investor and selling it for a fee. Whereas I'm relating or saying that deal sourcing is the act of sourcing a great potential project for anyone to purchase. Whether you are sitting on £1,000, £100,000, or £1 million, if you have £1 million, then feel free to reach out to me. But regardless of your capital, the bottleneck is exactly the same. You need access to buy great properties. Now, you might do that by viewing and offering on properties that are on the market. You might do it by going direct to vendor. You might use a sourcer, or should I say packager, for this video, or you might do it through finding a deal through your network. But the fact is, you have to focus on one thing to blow up your success in property. And I'm really giving the game away here. Most people would try and sell you this information for tens of £1,000s, but wrap it up in pretty language and complex strategies. But let me explain why this is simple but effective with two simple examples, the 100,000 example and a £100,000 example. I know there's people out there that say that you can buy properties with no money, but the reality is, well, you do need money. So what can you do with £1,000? You can do one thing: focus on finding the best deals possible. So let's say that you find a property listed for £100,000, okay? So £100,000 property, and let's say that you secure it for £75,000, which is a 25% discount. So if you bought this for 75, you've spent 20 on the refurb, £5,000 on the fees, you're in this for 100,000. But let's say you actually go and sell this for £140,000. That's £40,000 in profit. But, well, you only have £1,000. You found this amazing deal, but you've only got £1,000. How are you going to buy it? Well, here are your options. First of all, you could try and sell it, because if you package this up, okay, we're saying deal packaging, you could potentially make yourself between £1,500 and £3,000, maybe even up to £5,000 because there's quite a bit of profit in this one, but at minimum £1,500 to £3,000. £1,500 would be if you co-sourced it, you know, £3,000 or £5,000 is if you go and get the full fee. So the first thing we can do is sell it to another investor. The second thing you could do is go, look, I've got this unbelievably good, fantastic deal, and there's potential to make 40,000 in profit here. I've just secured it, I've got the deal. Therefore, if I go out and find someone else who can fund all of this, I'll do all of the work, I've got the deal, all they need to do is fund it, then you could find yourself a JV partner, okay? They put all the money in, you do all the work, and then guess what? You split it 50-50. Okay, so there's 40K profit, obviously divide that by 2 equals 20K in profit. Doesn't matter that you only have £1,000, you found an unbelievable deal, and then you go and found yourself a partner, all of a sudden, well, you've got £20,000 of the profit there. So you've taken that 1,000 and you've times it by 20. Now, last but not least is raising finance. Okay, this is probably the trickiest one, particularly if it's your first deal, particularly if you only have £1,000. But if you're unable to, or you decide not to find a JV partner, your third and final option is to raise the finance. Now, raising money means borrowing it off of people, and of course you are going to be paying interest on that. So if you then buy it and then you sell it for your £40,000 profit again, well, you're not going to be able to keep all of that. You're probably going to pay potentially £10,000 or £5,000 in fees. So maybe you're looking at, you know, 30 to 35K in profit once you deduct your interest fees, depending how long it takes, probably more likely to be maybe even 25 to 30K, but you get to keep a good chunk of the pie, and yet you only had £1,000 to start with. Now, as I said, that's probably your hardest option because you might not have the track record. You've only got £1,000 to fall back on, but that is an alternative option. For many of you, options 1 or 2 are probably most relevant. Now, all of a sudden, you can see how anyone can get started in property just by focusing on the one main skill, finding great deals. Not rent to rent or not necessarily deal packaging, just work on finding great deals and figure it out from there. And I teach these strategies at a high level to beginners who are looking to go rapidly from 0 to 2 buy-to-lets or deals in my Blueprint program. Now, I rarely plug this in my videos. In fact, I'm in between enrollments right now, but I'm looking for a couple of people to work with that are hungry animals, looking to hunt success, looking to get great at finding deals and to give it their all. So if that's you, use the link in the description to apply, and we'll contact you if you fit my criteria. So let's look at Mr. 100,000, okay? He has the opposite problem. He's worried about losing his hard-earned money. The problem isn't which strategy do I do, it's the fact that you don't want to make a mistake, okay? The strategies available are, well, it's everything. It's turnkey, it's BRR, it's flips, it's HMOs, it's service accommodation, it's sourcing. To be honest, it could be any strategy. The main concern is making a mistake. So what are the ways in which we can overcome the fear of making a mistake? Well, first of all, it's knowledge. Because if you have a good level of knowledge, well, that gives you the confidence that you're going to need. Okay, so knowledge could be one thing to work on. Working with an expert could actually be the next thing, because that allows you to have the confidence to go and do a deal because someone is looking over it with you. They're giving you some of that knowledge. And the last thing, well, you guessed it, is finding great deals. The whole purpose of this video. Because most of the worry is attached to buying the wrong house. These things here, it's all about the wrong house or the wrong area. So if you place all of your attention in actually finding better properties and having the skills to spot those opportunities, then, well, your worry is significantly reduced, okay? Just find better deals. And I'll give you an example of this on here, because if you find a property that has a £5,000 discount, well, you're not that impressed. It's not that good a deal. Whereas if you find a property and you've got a £25,000 discount, well, that's just gonna help you sleep better at night. You're no longer taking a punt on a property, and now you're actually buying because there is some kind of opportunity or discount there. You have some equity in this property, And again, that takes away some of that fear. The options and outcome for Mr. 100,000 is very different from Mr. 1,000. Mr. 1,000 simply has to learn how to go and find good deals in order to package them or find a partner to invest in them, because he doesn't have the capital. Whereas Mr. 100,000, well, he has the capital, and pairing that with finding great deals means that he can make £100,000 go 10 times further. Whether it's doing BRR deals where a large portion of the money is taken out after the refinance, or whether it's flipping houses to continue building up that cash pot from, let's say, £100,000 to £200,000, and then moving on to bigger deals, HMOs, conversions, developments, whatever the reason, okay? The key part remains the same, and we have to just find the best deals possible, find great property deals. Now, this part of the video will shock you, okay? I've had people tell me that getting below market value properties isn't possible. They've actually said to me, Justin, that's not even possible. Why do you talk about it? Why would someone want to sell their property for less than it's worth? It's preposterous. It doesn't happen. It just never happens. To be brutally honest, those people are dumb. The vast majority of people do want to sell at market value. I appreciate that. And they want to get the most for their property that's possible. But there is also lots of circumstances where people are happy to actually give a discount on the property if it means they can sell quicker and if it gives them certainty. Now, here are some examples as to why people might sell a property for a discount. Well, first of all, it could be because the property is tired, okay, in need of a refurbishment. And this is probably the most common one that you're gonna see with properties getting agreed for a discount. The second one might be a relocation. If someone's had a really good job offer, maybe they get a lump sum of money in order to make that move, make that commitment, they might just go, let's do it. Let's get rid of the house, take the stress away, and we'll take a discount if we can do it quickly. Could be a divorce, which is not ideal. Could be because the couple are not amicable and they need to get rid of the property quickly. They might be prepared to accept a discount. Or it could be debt on the property. Don't need to explain that one. Or it could be, sadly, someone's died. Who's managing the estate? Someone want to get rid of it quickly. Could be loss of job. Maybe someone's lost their job, they can't really afford to keep it. And it could be other reasons. Maybe there's a problem with the house. Like tenant in situ means that it's harder to do viewings, so why don't let's just sell it, okay, get rid of it. Could be tenants actually causing a problem because they're not paying. And there are many, many other reasons as why. That's just a few of them. So the truth is that properties can be purchased at a discount. In fact, if you've watched my channel for a while, then you will have most likely seen the property that I bought for around £65,000 and then I sold it for £90,000 just 3 or 4 months later with no refurbishment, making a nice profit. And here is another property that I purchased in 2023 for £62,000 with a tenant in situ. And after a £30,000 refurb that I'll likely do this year, it has comparable end values of £120,000. And if you think these are decent deals, listen to this next one. This year, the Property X sourcing team and I were brought a potential deal by a property trader. The trader had secured the property incredibly below market value, particularly given the area and the house. And we found them an investor who bought it for £140,000, which was still below market value. And that property will actually go on and be worth £250,000 after about a 40k refurb. This is an actual example of a property sourced just the other month, and we get many more brought to us just like this, where people are making very, very good money for property. The trader made their cut, the person buying it will go on and make their cut as well. And this is purely because people are able to find great deals. But do not be under any illusion. Examples like this are not easy to find. You won't find them every day, and you certainly won't find these every single week. But the deals you find only have to be a fraction of that discount in order to have a big impact on your property portfolio on your journey. And in fact, I only share these examples with you to give you the belief that A, this is possible to do, and B, the number one most important skill in property is finding great deals. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.